Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. Welcome if you're new here. My name is Courtney. I am a stay-at-home mom, wife, and aspiring author, and this is the second video in my goal prepping for 2025. So I will link the first video. If you haven't seen it, you might want to pause this, go back and watch that one, and then hop back over to this video. So let's start with this, and then I'll kind of show you what I am doing in my Clever Fox as well. So I'm doing my goal planning in my A5 rings. This is a Moterm A5 Luxe in chestnut. And in the last video, we started the prep work by looking back at this year, taking note of milestones and other big moments, reflecting on what worked and what didn't work, talking about some of the challenges that I had for last year, and we stopped at this page, which is the Circle of Life. I know that there are a lot of other planner systems who have something similar in the prep work that they have you do, and it is essentially to look at the circle, which encompasses all of the areas of your life, and then you assign each area a number that correlates with your satisfaction of how you feel about that area or the progress that you've made in the year in these areas. So these are my number ratings, so to speak, and we'll just kind of go over them quickly. My highest areas were love and connection, which to me, this is just basically my marriage, physical and mental health, and family and friends. Those three areas I gave a 7. My lowest ratings were my lowest numbers, I should say, were for business and career, education and learning, spirituality, and finances. So let's kind of go through why I felt the way I felt about each of these areas. And we are going to start with health, which is physical and mental. And remembering that this got a higher rating for me. I gave it a 7. I'm just going to pop this out so that I can keep the numbers in mind while I'm doing this. You'll remember that I mispunched. It was a whole thing. Anyway, in health, physical and mental, my reasons for rating it a 7 are that I would love to be more fit and stronger, but this year has been the best that I've felt physically in years, and I continued it over here saying saying my mental health has been manageable for most of the year, expecting my mental health to spiral in January and need coping mechanisms. So in essence, both my overall physical and mental health, I think, have been probably the best that either have been in years for me in the year of 2024. Next year, I would like to focus more on, this year I focused a lot on figuring out what was going on with my health overall, with my doctors, and losing weight to help manage some of those things that were happening. I am pre-diabetic and had some fairly high A1C and daily blood sugar readings that I was trying to get under control, and my doctors thought one of the ways that I could address that was by losing weight and changing some of my diet. So that's really what I focused on this year. Next year, I would like to focus a lot more on just getting stronger and feeling fit while maintaining weight loss. Education and learning, I gave a 3, and that really is connected with business and career. So I think I will hop down here and talk about this first. So business and career is a major area to focus on in 2025. Publishing my books and launching my second channel are a huge component of that. And to me, education and learning is connected to this because I will be learning more about the self-publishing business overall. I will be learning more about marketing, because when you are a self-publishing author, like all of that, marketing, sales, business planning, all of that falls on you. So those are skills that I don't feel like I know enough about. So it makes me feel very out of my element, and kind of the underdog, so to speak. And so I need to really study those processes and feel and understand how it will work for what I want to do. I hope that made sense. The next category is spirituality. I am not particularly religious or spiritual, but in this past year, I have started reading about some different things in terms of spirituality, and I would like to develop my own regular spiritual practice. However, I'm not sure exactly what that looks like, and it is something that I would like to explore more in next year. Let's just jump down to friends and family and love and connection, because those are my relationships basically. So friends and family got a 7. I am feeling very close to my core group of friends, and my children. I would like in the next year to be more connected with my extended family. My sort of nuclear family that I grew up with is very small. My husband has a large he has 3 siblings, I think, and my mother-in-law has a bunch of siblings. My father-in-law has a bunch of siblings. There are a lot of cousins. I have cousins that first cousins that I would like to get to know better. I feel like the only time we see each other and hang out and have a good time is at funerals, and I would like for that to change. So I am taking it upon myself to change it. Love and connection. My husband and I worked together this year to strengthen our marriage. I feel like every year, this is our 15th, 2025 will be our 15th anniversary in May. So we have been married for 15 years. We have been together for 22 years, I think, at this point. 21 or 22, I can't remember. But I feel like every year that we're together, our relationship just gets stronger. So I'm happy to continuously build on that relationship. And recreation, I tried a few different things this year to kind of get me out of my comfort zone, but I would like to continue doing more of that in the next year. And then finally is the finance section. This also got a 3 for me. And when I talk about finance, although personal finances kind of play a role into that, mostly I'm talking about finances as it would be connected to any sort of business endeavors, but I am not super financially literate. I grew up in a home where my father handled all of the finances and really just took care of everything, so it's not anything that I really learned about. Then I got married when I was 18 and went into a relationship where my husband also kind of handled the finances, not in the best way, but he still took care of them. And then after I got divorced, I sort of fell under the umbrella of my father again, who once again made sure that my bills were paid and bought me a house, so I didn't have like rent that I needed to do. Like, he bought me a house, he paid the insurance and like all of that stuff. I've never, I mean, I'm 51 and I have never even purchased a car for myself. My dad bought all of my cars, and then when I got married, my husband bought them all. And I feel like I have a lot of shame from that. So I need to, and even now my husband, he is very good at managing money. He's very good at the numbers of it all. And I trust him to do that, but I would also like to be able to know that if something happened to him, I could handle it on my own, and I don't really feel that way now. And like, even saying this out loud is so embarrassing to me, but it is what it is. So those are my areas and what I'm feeling about each of them. And then I'm going to put these back in, and then we are going to hopefully move on. Okay, so this next page is going through your areas of focus. You figure out which of those areas you want to dedicate the most attention to in the next year. And so these 3 things are the areas that need your attention the most in the next 3 months. So for Q1, what are the 3 things that I really feel like I need to focus on? And my 3 things are business and career and the learning needed for that. So to me, business and career and education and learning are all connected. Health, always want to continue to focus on my mental health. I have an anxiety disorder. I also suffer from depression, and just maintaining my physical health. I do want to add some strength training and whatnot into my workouts to kind of start that journey in Q1, and finances that I just talked about. And then what are some of the concrete steps that you want to take to improve how you feel about each area? So I need to plan my 2025 writing and publishing schedule. I'm going to relaunch my blog, start a newsletter, and build my community through social media. I want to continue the progress made by focusing on diet and a regular workout schedule, monitor my mental health with therapy and journaling, and finally, I want to have regular budget meetings with my husband, manage business budget with financial projections, a business plan, and an operating budget. And then it asks you, if you, like, 1 year from today, looking at your life, if you did nothing, what would your life look like? And so basically my life is fine. I could continue being this version of myself without much effort, and the things that I feel unsatisfied with currently may get better, likely would get better, but probably I wouldn't have progressed as much as I really want to without doing the work. And then 1 year from today, if you actually did the work that you wanted to do, what would your life look like? And so I would be a published author, breaking even on my publishing business. I want to improve my physical and mental health by incorporating yoga and Pilates into my regular workouts. I would be more active socially and feeling much more fulfilled. The home projects I'm planning are complete, and our home is a cozy, colorful, and eclectic safe space for our family. And this is just really asking you to think about what drives you, what are the reasons that you want to focus on all of these things. What are you excited to get out of bed for every day? That sort of thing. And for me, really, all of the improvements that I want to make, I mean, some of them are for myself, but like long term, everything is for my family. I want to be in better health so that I can live longer for my family, to be healthy for my family, to not burden them with those sorts of things. I continue to create the home environment that we want to have because I love having my house full of my kids and my grandkids and friends and family. I love being creative. These are sort of all of the things that give me reasons to be a better version of myself. And then this talks about the things that you'd like to let go of in the next year. I really have 3 things that are like the underlying reasons that I haven't done a lot of the things that I want to do. Self-doubt, lack of confidence, and fear are all things I need to release. This is the trio that makes me question my judgment, get in my own head, and begin to spiral. Because I always hold myself to the standard of perfection, essentially. When I fall short of that very high bar, I allow the shame of not being perfect, which is not like, that's not that's not the goal. That's not even attainable. But once I do something that sort of falls short of that, I allow the shame of not being perfect to keep me stuck. And I need to find a way to give myself grace, learn from my missteps, mistakes, and failures, and keep working on reaching my goals. And then this asks you to kind of come up with some strategies to give yourself some goodwill when those mistakes happen. So take a break, don't force it. There's always going to be times where I feel stuck. This being stuck does not correlate with my capabilities, and I need to remember that. But on the flip side, taking more than 48 hours away from something that I'm trying to do allows me to kind of start down that spiral of being overly critical and telling myself that I can't do something. I have the tendency to be fatalistic, and I need to remember that there's nothing that I want to do that can't be fixed, which is something that I tell my kids a lot, like everything is fixable, and I don't often let myself take that advice. And I'm more capable and talented than I give myself credit for being. So, and these are just kind of things that I like to do to relax, to bring out that playful side of myself that I need to remember. We can't always be all work and no play. These are like long-term goals that I'm not ready to share just yet. And then this is sort of the big picture roadmap for next year. I want to publish my 3-book contemporary romance series. I want to rebrand my blog and launch a new YouTube channel. I want to become financially literate. I want to focus on becoming fit, maintaining weight loss, and staying vigilant about my mental health. Have intentional time with friends and family, and devote time to my hobbies. So we are going to dive deeper into these in my next video and kind of set up my Q1 goals, and then talk about what I'm going to do specifically for January. But I wanted to show you what I am doing in my Clever Fox. Now this is my archive for the year. Everything that I am doing in my ring planners will at some point be transferred into these because I don't plan on keeping any of those inserts. So anything I want to remember and record for the year will end up in here. This is my Clever Fox Weekly Hourly Planner Pro, the premium edition. And there are some goal setting pages that you get in the front. I will link to my unboxing of this planner if you're interested. And so it takes you through some steps to think about some daily rituals that help you towards your goals. You kind of go through and dial down on some stuff. We'll go over those in my next video as well, but I did want to talk about my word of the year. So for 2025, my word of the year is purpose, and I had a few words that I was kind of considering. I think I had 4 or 5, and I just kept coming back to this one. So purpose is the reason for which something is done or created, or for which something exists. Have is one's intentions or objectives, and a person's sense of resolve or determination. And I think as a person, a woman specifically in her 50s and kind of entering a new phase of life, I really have been struggling with exactly what my purpose is. I got married and had my first child at 18, so I have been a wife and mother for all of my adult life. It is really the only career or job that I have ever had, and at this point, I have 5 children.